Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another monthly social media update, and happy Social Media Day. So this was Luann's idea to coincide this with Social Media Day, and we're going to have a bit of extra fun today. So Luann, thank you very much for joining. So my illustrious co-host, as I don't know which way I'm going, this way, whatever. But yes, thanks for joining us again, Luann. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, happy Social Media Day. It makes life easy, doesn't it, when there's a day that we can actually hook things around on, and we advise everyone else to do it, so it would be remiss of us not to do it ourselves. So lots of people saying hello. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, so it's going to be a very busy one, a very, very busy one. So hopefully you can see the slides. You'll know us by now, but just for anyone that's new, that's joining us, Luann, do you mind doing just a quick intro of yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Luann Wise. I am a social media consultant. I run my own business, have done for almost 10 years. I'm based in the Cotswolds, so lots of people from Gloucestershire joining. Hello. I support clients on a day-to-day basis, from law firms to higher education to consultants to chief execs with their social media, but I'm a very traditional marketing person from agency and client-side background as well. Host courses. I work with LinkedIn Learning. I have courses on there, and I'm a lead trainer for Facebook and Instagram, and love these sessions, Andy. So introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'll do me. But I'm Andy. I'm one of the founders here at Content Cal, content marketing platform, as you can probably guess by our name, of which you can check out if you haven't done already. But today is a bit of a different one, right? Because we've got the usual update that we're going to be going through. So there's a huge amount that's happened in June. So we're going to be firing straight into that and showing you all the brand new features at a network by network level. We're going to go straight into that, which will probably take about half an hour, I would say. And then we're going to be doing a quiz at the end. So there's 3 prizes that kindly the Content Marketing Association and Rob from the Content Marketing Association will be joining us in a bit. So top prize is going to be a giveaway of a year's membership to the Content Marketing Association, which is worth, I think, £2,500, which is just frankly ridiculous that they're giving that away. So very happy. And then a free entry into the Content Marketing Association Awards later in this year. So like best use of social media would be a fantastic category for someone to submit some work that they've done into. So yeah, fantastic recognition for work, because I know we have a lot of small businesses and agencies on this call. So that would be a good one. And the other one is just a third place is a 50 quid Amazon voucher. So we'll talk more about the quiz later on, but stay on for that, because that's going to be fun. For what it's worth, I got 7 out of 10. I wasn't that pleased with it. Extra kudos if you beat me, and you can laugh at me, because I get to do these every single month, and you can say I know more about social media than this guy. So you can do that. So that is going to be run on a bit of software called Slido. So the important thing to note is that when we get to the quiz bit, you'll just need to go on the website and enter a code so that you can answer the quiz. So you're going to need a second device to do that. You'll see some details that my colleague Sophie will put in the chat. Whilst we're talking about chat, final thing I'll say is that because we're not going to have time to run a Q&A session because we've got the quiz at the end, one thing that happens like every month when we do this, which is really, really cool, is that often people are asking questions about the challenges they're facing with their own social media work. Like, are people seeing success with this, or why is this not working, etc. There are so many, and we've got a record number on today, of like-minded social media folk on this call willing to help out. So it's a brilliant little community. So put your questions, challenges in the chat. Don't forget to share your LinkedIn so we can all connect. It's a nice little community. We have a shared love of social media, and we're all trying to learn together. So let's light up that chat today. Right, that is enough waffle from me. So let's dive straight in, and let's start with some data and some trends. There isn't too much to cover this month, so we're going to go straight actually into the updates in a second. Let's start with a usage league table, because we all love one of these. So this is correct as of 3 days ago. So this is the latest bit of data that I found, and here's all the source where that information's come from. And what we put together here is, because we often see different metrics reported, this gives us a good bit of clarity, because some people report their registered users only, looking at you, LinkedIn. Some are kind enough to report monthly and daily, like Facebook, for example. Some just monthly, and others just don't do anything. But it gives us a good understanding Facebook still growing, 2.85 billion. Just so you know, some of these questions might be on the test. Little nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So as we go down, TikTok's has been another growth story. That was 600 million just 3 months ago. So fantastic quarterly growth they're seeing. There'll be some platforms you maybe don't recognize, typically native in China. Pinterest continues its monumental growth, and Snapchat really is on a massive resurgence. And one thing to call out Snapchat is the daily active usage. That's a massive proportion. Over 50% of their total monthly users log in every single day. That's really significant. And then obviously LinkedIn, significant growth in terms of numbers of registered users. LinkedIn is still very coy on monthly and active users, which is a massive shame. But that's where we're at from a league table. No one's shifted around, but there's a couple of platforms that are very much on a bit of a resurgence. So some trends as well. There's only 4 I wanted to look at here, because this was in Facebook's quarterly topics to watch report. So just as a bit of a side note, one thing I'd recommend everyone doing just to stay on top of like the topics and the themes that are gathering interest, there's 2 things I'd recommend doing. Is following the Facebook topics to watch report. Just Google that and you'll find it. They put it out every quarter. And the same, I've mentioned this several times before, but it's worth mentioning again, is Pinterest trends. So just Google Pinterest trends, and there is a whole website dedicated to Pinterest trends, which is fantastic as to how we can understand, not just related to Pinterest, but the topics and themes that are gathering interest in the market. But anyway, there's 4 kind of things that were flagged on Facebook's topic to watch report. So travel photography, seen a 200% growth, I would say. So here, and we can see the demographics as to the audience that's appealing to the most. Unsurprisingly, we're all let out of our cages now, so we're all taking photos. So unsurprisingly, on Facebook, travel photography is becoming one of the fastest growing topics. Sticking with Facebook, streetwear apparently is particularly demographic. I don't even know what streetwear is, but then with my fashion sense, you can probably understand that. So, and plus it's for people younger than me. So either way, excuse my ignorance, but yeah, growing on Facebook. On Instagram, all-inclusive resorts, the biggest growing topic, funnily enough. But look at the age demographic that's appealing with, a really distinct age demographic that appeals to. And certainly, you know, all of these trends skew more towards female than male as well. I guess typically a nature of gathering inspiration, but that's very interesting, that one. And then body positive movement, I think something that we can all recognize, a very clear demographic split on that one. Really popular on Instagram. It's one of the fastest growing trends that they're seeing. So if you're in the kind of health beauty sector, definitely something to be cognizant of in your content as well. So it's not just about showing, you know, perfectly formed human beings. It's about representing an equal proportion of society. So that's definitely gaining some significant traction. So hopefully they're kind of useful or relevant. Some of them might be relevant to everyone, but certainly both the Pinterest trends and the Facebook trends to watch. Just keep an eye on that from a regular perspective. But let's go straight into what's new. Luann, over to you.
Thank you. So I was laughing, and we should probably play bingo with these presentations sometimes, because someone has just popped in the comments going, body positive just in time for Love Island.
Very good.
Yes, that's the only mention of Love Island today. I'm not watching it this year. So Facebook, you know, it always changes, lots of changes. Some of them we've seen before. It's a constant challenge for the social media platforms to be looking at misinformation and safety for their users and understanding what's going in. One of my top tips has always been to check things before you share links and before you post things. So love the fact that Facebook now are really closing in on this. Fact checkers, I think there's also something around how long ago content was posted so that things are up to date as well, obviously particularly around COVID and vaccinations as well, but more and more important that we understand what is correct when we're reading things and sharing them. This is something we talked a lot about last month and is coming up more and more in these presentations, is the word creator. And we talked last month about how, you know, creator is a term that's being used. We were happy about that we're kind of being recognized as creators when we're using social media. And monetization is also something that's coming up again and again in these presentations. So Facebook's new features around helping creators monetize with events, subscriptions, badges, news products. I think they just launched a subscription newsletter I saw in my feeds this morning. There's always something after we write the slide deck, isn't always something. But that's great. New features, more and more we can do on this platform, but they're going to let us use it for a while before taking a cut of the money, which I think is fair, that we get to see if it will work for us before we lose a cut of the money on it. Yeah, Bulletin, that's what it's called, bulletin.com.
Yeah, very interesting. And Mark, as you can see, Mr. Zuckerberg can't resist taking a little stab at Apple in every part of his comms, as you can see.
Yes.
Can't resist it.
And actually, we should say that as well as looking at Facebook topics and Pinterest topics as well, follow Zuckerberg, because he shares everything first and goes live and shares their town halls. So if you want stuff literally straight from Facebook, he's actually a great person to be following on the platforms as well.
Agreed.
Reels, the newest feature, I guess, not new to social media, but coming into Instagram and now Facebook. Facebook are featuring Reels in the feed. I'll confess, I haven't made a Reel yet, but I am slightly addicted to watching them in downtime.
Exactly. I think it's an interesting move because it shows that Reels possibly hasn't got the traction that they were hoping or expecting. That the fact they've got to use one of their other bigger platforms to help promote it is quite an interesting move. Yeah.
Group admin. Zuckerberg said several years ago that groups were a key focus for Facebook, and building communities and allowing people to kind of be in peer groups and be in support groups and have conversations and learn and discuss and share news. And I think it's great that, continually group admins get new tools. Sometimes it's to overcome issues that unfortunately group managers face around commenting and management, but there's always some positive new features in there as well. So if you're running a group, always check out the new admin tools that are in there for you. Audio, I think we spent a lot of this year talking about audio. Clubhouse starting to really grow at the beginning of the year, and of course the other platforms integrating that technology, that feature into their own platforms. Facebook have finally launched audio rooms, and I think it was Zuckerberg that did one himself first. I think it was just last week. So if you started on Clubhouse, you've dropped off Clubhouse, but you like the concept of audio, maybe go and start having a look at it over on Facebook.
Yeah, and I think an interesting point about this is that where Facebook have chosen to feature it in the feed, if I'm hovering my mouse over it at the moment, is that it's now kind of second in line underneath where you can write some content. So I think they're putting some serious weight into this as well. I think one other point to mention about audio rooms have predominantly been rolled out first to influential individuals, which makes sense, and then as a tool within Facebook groups. Because one of the challenges about audio first social, as Clubhouse has found and is finding out, is around discovery. How do we find good stuff from good people that are trustworthy? And that's where embedding this into Facebook groups is a really natural way for this to grow. So, I would predict that this will be a really good addition and well-used addition to Facebook. Yeah.
And I guess it's audio as well, isn't it? That, podcasts have grown significantly over the last 12, 15 months while people have been in lockdown. They're listening to them on their walks in the morning and downtime, this whole audio and listening, and Facebook have now launched their podcast in-stream playing as well. Andy, e-commerce is one of your favorite topics. I'm a shopper. So tell us what Facebook are up to now.
Yeah, they've gone big on e-commerce. There's four things. So they're bringing Facebook shops to WhatsApp. As we all know, Facebook have struggled to monetize WhatsApp since they acquired it 7 years ago now. And, ads in WhatsApp definitely wasn't going to go anywhere. So now they're kind of integrating shops into WhatsApp. So basically you'll be able to browse the shop and the storefront of a certain brand you want to shop within directly within WhatsApp, which creates a really lovely user experience. You can message the merchant directly about stock availability, see what's available, and order directly through WhatsApp. So you can really start to see how Facebook shops will suddenly proliferate across so many devices, because obviously the reach and the usage levels of WhatsApp as a tool is off the charts. In addition to that, they're releasing augmented reality ads. This has been a kind of a stock in trade really for both Snapchat and Pinterest, but now Facebook are getting in on it. So here you can see, you can try on certain, in this instance, lipsticks. We can shop that now. We can try on it through augmented reality and see how that product fits with us. And really, that is where social media and e-commerce have such incredible power, much above like things like Amazon, around like discovery, trying on things, being able to get inspiration around the products that you want to buy. So that would be a significant update. They're also bringing shops to Marketplace as well, which I thought was an interesting move. Lots of people use Marketplaces, Facebook Marketplace that is, as a place to buy goods and services. But now shops going to be brought into it. Obviously, the Marketplace typically has been very much a kind of peer-to-peer marketplace, but now they're making this much more B2C retail orientated. So that's definitely going to be one to watch, actually. And it might make Marketplace a more significant play for businesses within Facebook. And finally, this is once again something that has been native to Pinterest for a while through the Pinterest lens. This is your ability now when you're scrolling Facebook and you see a t-shirt in this instance that you like the look of, but it's not tagged. In that instance, you can hover over it and it will show you similar products in a feed of which you can go directly to the merchant store to shop. So once again, empowering this whole discovery piece around, oh, that's interesting, gain inspiration, add it to shopping basket and create a really seamless consumer experience. So once again, you can see all of these platforms pushing really hard into this, social commerce space.
It's great. It's great for businesses that are doing social commerce, but for the user as well, it's just given us more and more reasons to use these apps, isn't it? Our whole worlds are coming into these apps. It's no longer just about your friends or your family or your business messages. We can pretty much do a lot of what we want to be doing within these apps now.
Definitely agree with that.
Screen time's gonna go up. On to Instagram, and we've already mentioned Reels. Finally, data has come to Reels. We can now get engagement insights for Reels and Instagram Live broadcasts as well. So if you haven't looked at those yet and you are doing Reels, you can finally get some data on it.
Yeah, important update, that one.
Back to commerce features. This is only available in the US at the moment. It will be under the shop tab, but this is a new feature for new product launches. So if you're doing a new product launch or you want to see new product launches, at the moment only in the US, but they have launched, I think it was just this week, a new feature called Drops. I think we mentioned this before. It comes up again and again. Instagram have been testing it. What does it mean? Are we going to switch it off? Are we going to keep it on? This opportunity now to hide like counts. Do you want to share your like counts? Do you want to see them on posts? I've seen the pop-up message a couple of times. Interesting to see what impact this one has going forward.
Agreed.
And multi-brand partnerships. We were talking about this before we started and what this meant. So you can, if you're doing partnerships, influencer campaigns, collaborations with brands, you can feature that and highlight that on Instagram. Until this new launch of multi-brand partnerships, it was just an option to do it with one brand. So if you're doing collaborations like the three of us are today, that could be a great new feature for you to use. Back to creators, and I really like this one. Affiliates, relationships, partnerships, opportunities has been around for a while in different places on Amazon, and Content Cal has an affiliate program. I believe there are ways that people can generate income from this, can work and collaborate. And actually, this was launched as part of Instagram's Creator Week showcase in the last couple of weeks. Another monetization option. You can earn money from product promos. There'll be a new tool on there where you can go and discover new products, share them, and if you drive traffic and sales, you'll be able to generate some income.
Yeah, I think what's particularly interesting about this, and something that's worthwhile us as all kind of brands thinking about, is that, whilst this is a great opportunity to get lots of people talking about us and sharing links to our products and, potentially earning money from recommending us, it does kind of open up the door for anyone to represent your business in a way they see fit. So it's a brilliant opportunity, but it does come with it some kind of brand and / reputational risk, which is an interesting one to think about, because this is obviously the other end of the spectrum where we might be looking at branded partnerships of people we absolutely want to work with, and we manage the type of content they'll be creating and the tone of voice, this is pretty much open season. So I definitely welcome it, definitely with a degree of caution, I would say.
Well, always something to watch and see what's happening first, isn't it? Creator shops, again, the commerce tool now on Instagram as well. I love that they're using the word creator as well as giving people the opportunity to sell through these platforms that people are on. Stars challenges. Again, another monetization option from Instagram. This is about earning stars when you reach milestones on your account. So the example that they gave in the launch release of this was around, when you reach a certain number of live broadcast hours, you could earn a star. I guess it's that competitive nature of people, isn't it, that they want to earn badges. Exactly,
and I think it's a way of Facebook incentivizing the behavior they want to see on the platform. Like, they're incentivized based on the amount of hours they broadcast, as you say. So it's kind of a way for them to pay these creators. Facebook. When I say they, I mean Facebook paying these creators to carry on bringing good content to the platform, and that's actually really the battle we're seeing across platform. We saw Snapchat invest $100 million, ridiculous numbers, into like paying for content on the platform, paying creators, because they all know that's what the real battle is for. The more quality content you have, the bigger your platform will get, and as well, which is precisely the lesson that Clubhouse is learning.
Fundraising. So there has been new features occasionally for non-profits. We've talked about these, and I think this is a great one that, more and more opportunity for non-profits to do fundraisers, to raise money for their charity, to get sponsorship. So a nice ad.
Yeah, I think it's a massively important one for non-profits, this one. Fantastic opportunity, this one.
Ads in Reels. I haven't seen any yet. I'm looking out for them, but it is now an option. I don't know if anyone has seen ads in Reels or running their ads in Reels. It's been announced that it's there, but I'm looking for them. Haven't seen them. Have you?
No, I've not seen one yet. So it only went live, 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
Someone's seen lots. I haven't seen them.
I'm fascinated because, because we don't really know how much Reels are being used yet and the usage data they're in. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah. It's hard when you're actually looking for them and you want to see them. And then this last update from Instagram, this is that word that I'm not always a fan of, but this is about how the algorithm works. And, when they share about the algorithm, they are now rolling out how they are changing suggested posts in your feed. So this is what you are seeing in the priority order and where you might see that. So they're just trying to push you to see different things.
Exactly. Whereas this used to be the case, like when you've got to the bottom of your feed, then, if you actually can ever do that, and basically it says you're all caught up with everything that who you follow and all the new content. It then has started suggesting posts to follow to keep you scrolling. But now it's starting to kind of put those suggested posts in the mix of your feed stuff. So I think that's an interesting one. But apparently, according to Instagram, the feedback has been good on having that as an experience. So either way, it encourages discovery of all of our brands and all of our content, to be honest. So good thing in my book.
Yeah. Just one amend update from LinkedIn at the moment. They seem to do everything in batches. So we'll probably have loads next month or the month after. This is one around ads, which I think is interesting. If you check out the LinkedIn marketing blog, they've done a few new guides and download PDFs recently on ad targeting and how to set up ads and the self-serve platform. And I think they're making it even easier now by launching this boost option, which we're all familiar with from Facebook, and the event functionality. It was introduced last year, is great for promoting events. Some of you are hopefully here today from having seen it on LinkedIn. So having ads within the events feature and to support the events industry is a good move as well from them.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm liking the boost stuff. I haven't started using it yet. So I'm going to be interested to see how that works out, actually.
Yeah. I have a couple of campaigns to set up this week, so maybe we'll share next month.
Oh, that would be cool to see. Yeah, definitely.
Twitter. Can we guess what the amends are, what the updates, the changes are to Twitter? Yes, it is audio spaces, which they have been taking leaps and bounds on this year in terms of adding it, rolling out a lot quicker, getting people moving over to it. So Audio Spaces is now available on the web app. Are you using Audio? I think you've looked at this.
Yeah, Audio Space. We're actually doing. We're doing this a bit more as of next month, because we're starting a podcast again, but actually doing a live version of the podcast through Audio Spaces to encourage Q&A. So the web app is critical to us kind of bringing that to life. Will make that whole kind of broadcasting across multiple platforms much easier. So yeah, definitely welcome to that one.
Yeah. And live conversations, other developments in there. They're adding features all the time, aren't they? So I think it's almost, we logged in today and there was a different button for us to press to come in here. So I think you've got to start watching it and going and see what's happening as well.
Exactly. I think the point to note on this is what they're testing is like Spaces being that new button right in the middle of it. So this isn't live now. They're still testing this, but that just goes to show how much Twitter are focusing on Audio Spaces, I would say, around this. So yes, still a lot of work going on, but anyway, back over.
And editing as well is now in there. I think that was a feature that was missing from Clubhouse. So being able to edit in Audio Spaces they're just adding the features, aren't they?
Very quickly.
Twitter Blue launched. That's their subscription offering. Interesting again, the monetization that's happening with Twitter Blue, and as we've got on the next slide about adding newsletter subscriptions as well. This is happening now, isn't it? With Bulletin.com announced yesterday, talking about this for a while, the acquisitions that Twitter have made, we're going to start seeing these.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really important step for Twitter to try and think about a future of Twitter that isn't derived from ads, one that's derived from actual subscriptions driven through the platform, whether it's subscribing to Twitter directly, of which gives you kind of like what they described as power user features, which, you know, for $3.49 a month seems kind of reasonable if it's a platform that you rely on every single day. And then these, we've been talking about these for a while. These newsletter subscriptions are, a great addition to the platform, I think.
Yeah. Audio Spaces can now be downloaded. This for me was a big feature that was missing from Clubhouse, and one of my reasons for not getting so involved in it, because I like doing webinars. I like to download them afterwards and repurpose the content and reuse it. I guess there is that certain element of, you know, what happens in the room stays in the room. But for content creators, I think we always want to repurpose and use things again and record what's happening. So that makes me happy that you can now download Audio Spaces. Good, we're happy. Other monetization options, they are now open on Twitter for ticketed spaces and those super follows. I think these are restricted to, you've got to have a certain number of followers before these options are open to you.
Yeah, 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
So I might apply for those and see what happens for future events and super follows. So again, all these features coming out. And the last one, this really interests me, and I need to try this one since I read this update a few days ago. Twitter allowing tweets to be shared to stories, because I know I think we've mentioned before, there's some like or dislike around people sharing their regular Instagram post to stories with one click. So I think it's really interesting that now you'll be able to do this from Twitter, a tweet into your Instagram story. So haven't seen any in my stories yet, but I'm certainly going to try it and see what happens.
Definitely. I did like that Twitter banter happening.
You can't go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Right then. Right. I'll take over from here. We've got probably about another 10 minutes worth of this, and then we're going to hand over Rob from the CMA and then get started with a quiz. So a couple of updates on Pinterest. Idea pins. This is probably a bit of a false launch because it really is just a rename of what they used to call story pins. But now idea pins and this renaming does give it much more relevance in terms of what they're actually used for, because unlike stories on other platforms, these aren't ephemeral. They won't disappear over 24 hours, and they're used much more as gathering inspiration based on, you know, things that you might like and enjoy, and being able to save that inspiration. As you can see here, those kind of call to actions around that, all about gathering inspiration, which is where Pinterest have always, you know, have reigned supreme. Talk about gathering inspiration, that obviously rolls into making a decision and purchasing. So rolling out shops into more countries. I mean, the shop look is absolutely lovely. It's a really lovely design on Pinterest. So their assault on e-commerce, same as Facebook, they're really pushing into it. Same as rolling out shopping lists as well. I quite like this one because it's all about gathering inspiration, both from those idea pins we were just talking about, or when you're scrolling things because you're looking at other stuff that you saved. And now you can actually start making decisions on this, rolling out your shopping list, and then start making probably lots of rash purchases and regretting it later on. But it really is like all of these platforms are majoring on that discovery element. So that is the thing that social media is going to own when it comes to e-commerce. And that's the only way that they're thinking that they're going to be able to really compete with Amazon, where there is no element of discovery with Amazon. Really, you go there when you know what you want. But this is fantastic for inspiration. And the same thing about this, about rolling out new storefront options, shopping spotlights, which I'm showing you here. So this, once again, about this discovery piece, when you're visiting shops, because of the things that you've liked and pinned and saved on Pinterest, it will make personal suggestions based on what it believes, what products Pinterest believes will interest you. So as you can see, a huge amount of thought has gone into the consumer experience on Pinterest. So any B2C, fashion orientated, also food and beverage orientated brands, probably Pinterest should absolutely be a platform that you're majoring on, in my view. YouTube, I've been talking about shorts for ages, and it feels like I've been talking about it for ages as well. So I read an article that it's launched in the UK, but I still don't have it, so I feel left out. So I'm curious if anyone else does. So I've seen Matt Navarra, he's got shorts as well, so he's using it, but he's obviously much more influential and more important than myself. So yeah, a bit left out, but it's going to be a really important one once it fully rolls out for short form content. As a reminder, this is their competitor to TikTok, short form video, 60-second clips. Talking of TikTok, two small updates. One, they're about to launch the scheduling of live events. So TikTok Live has been a thing that they've been working on for a while, popularized by Walmart, who did this in December of last year, did a big live, which was a big shopping event. Now we can schedule those upcoming lives as well. So once again, that word that I'm going to get bored of saying, e-commerce, that's going to be another core part of that. Talking about TikTok, because I'm cognizant where, we talk about TikTok lots, but there'll be a lot of people on this session that are like still a bit kind of curious as to how they can make it work for their business. They've launched this Behind the Business series for SMEs. So just search this on Google, Behind the Business TikTok, and you'll find a series of clips, case studies, examples as to how SMEs have started to harness the growth from TikTok. So that's fantastic. I would recommend that for most of us on this call are SMEs. So recommend that as a really good resource. Then TikTok have launched this thing called Jumps, which is very similar to what Snapchat launched last year, which they call Minis. And I think this goes to show how progressive these two platforms are, and it shows the future of what call to actions will look like in the world of social going forward. Sorry about the screenshot because it's tiny. Where I'm actually hovering my mouse over, what these jumps are, these are kind of like mini apps within TikTok. So rather than posting a link to a call to action within a piece of content, it's about these kind of embedded apps. So in this example, this is a TikTok about a certain product that people are making, right? This food. So here it's got a little kind of jump, as they call it, to view the full recipe. So it's kind of like really embedded call to actions that are quite native to the user experience, meaning that the user can learn more about what your content is and engage with it more without leaving TikTok. And that is a really smart move, because whereas something like Instagram actively tries to keep people on platform by not allowing you to share links or directing anywhere else, something like TikTok and Snapchat as well wants to encourage you to share more of with your audience and get more engagement, etc. But thinking about it in a way that's not going to pull you away from a platform. Hopefully that makes sense. Very long explanation, so sorry for that. Clubhouse, really not much to report other than their 2 million Android users is what they've announced, which is good growth, but fundamentally it's still kind of piffling compared to the other platforms. So I'm hoping they'll come out with something soon, because it very much feels like they're being swamped by the big boys in the space. So we'll see what happens with that. And then two final bits. Reddit, tiny little update, but Reddit have, and sorry for the wonky screenshot, but there wasn't much content on this. I had to take a screenshot. Anyway, so Reddit have very much taken a load of inspiration from TikTok in their mobile experience now. So that brings Reddit much more into more typical social media type of approach. Reddit, I'm sure if you've used it before, is much more of a forum type of approach to interaction, collaboration, etc. So it's been less typical social media in the way it's approached, but it's changing. But also don't forget that Reddit's experiencing significant growth right now. So definitely one to watch. And then Spotify, what is this doing on a social media presentation? Yeah, a bit erroneous here. I don't expect to put this logo in every month, but guess what? They launched a Clubhouse competitor. Wouldn't believe it, would you? So I think we might be at the end of talking about Clubhouse competitors, because I think pretty much everyone's shown their hand now. But Spotify are one of the platforms that people consume the majority amount of podcasts on. So a kind of natural extension of this feels like a more interactive approach to these podcasts. Obviously, consumers' experience for just going to Spotify to consume things on demand in their own time versus consuming things live, that's a very different consumer experience. And whether you turn to Spotify if you have a spare hour and you want to consume something remains to be seen. But the natural extension of podcast does make sense. So if you follow a podcast, like let's take Joe Rogan, for example, you follow his podcast and you think, actually, there's a live Q&A with Joe happening next Friday, for example, that actually might be a really nice thing for us to kind of add to our diaries and schedule and be part of a more interactive approach to a podcast. So they're calling them Spotify. Well, this one, an example, they're calling it Spotify Green Room. They're running regular Spotify sessions as examples. So it might be worthwhile joining to get a feel for what it looks like. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that one. So see what happens. Right. How are we doing for time? Perfect. Bang on the money. So we are there. Consider yourself up to date for June. Very much, I haven't summarized this as I usually do, because very much it is business as usual. The key themes remain audio first, everyone's shown their hand. So, this is very much now going to be the battle of who's going to win that audio first social war that Clubhouse started. So we'll see what happens with that. Now every platform's launched. We've got e-commerce coming out of our ears now. So every platform pushing heavily into this, as well as investing heavily in creators. They're the three core themes that seem to be resolute throughout the course of this year. So lots more to come on it as well. But I don't know, Luann, do you have, before we dive into the fun bit, any other kind of like takeaways or narratives from what we've seen today, or this month rather?
I think when we're sharing these changes, and there are always so many, and it's part of Andy and I's day to day is to keep up to all these changes and what's happening. Some of them are very small, some of them don't matter to the big picture. What we're trying to do is just to kind of do the work for you and keep up to date with what's going on. So if we think we cover a lot and you feel overwhelmed, don't worry, don't sweat it. Stick to your plan, and be aware of this stuff that's happening. And I know there's lots of Q&A that's been going on in there, and you've been all great at answering each other. But if you do ever have any questions about these changes, our inboxes are always open. You can message us afterwards about what do these mean for your business and how we can help. So let's get on with the quiz.
Should we do it? Should we do it?
Rob, where are you?
Where's Rob? He was meant to be here to introduce it. So I'm frantically checking my emails to see if he's struggling to get in. But Rob's going to miss his chance.
Here he is.
Gosh, look at that.
I like to make people wait. I wanted to drum up the suspense.
Get my heart rate going.
Yeah.
I was going to say more. I'm just checking now. It is still the morning. Good morning, everyone. This is the moment that you've all been waiting for. Thanks for setting us up, Luann and Andy. The quiz is about to start. I'm looking forward to it. And as Luann and Andy mentioned, 3 great prizes. Some really interesting bits as well. I love. Usually Andy does these sort of webinars for us on a monthly basis, but love Luann and Andy doing it today. It's so much. I can't believe how much changes on a monthly basis. But Andy's popped the link up there now. If you just want to scan the QR code and sign in, it'd be great to do that. I'm just going to give it sort of 30 seconds while you sign in. Andy did say that I could maybe play a song or sing while you were doing this, but I thought it'd be great to kind of let you know a little bit about the CMA instead. So basically, because one of the prizes is CMA membership, I'm not going to bore you with all the stuff about what the CMA does, but we're a not-for-profit. For those of you who don't know, we are the body that looks after content marketing, to promote it, to make sure everyone's engaged and learning about what content is. I've also popped a link in the comments about our awards, because the second prize is a free award entry into this year's awards. Deadline is in September. So do please check that out. And again, myself and the team, if you've got any questions, do please get in touch. But yeah, we've got an event tomorrow as well. Not to steal an event from an event. We've got an event tomorrow which we're hosting around the third sector. So we've got some great two great speakers from agencies and then 2 great speakers from the charity side. So it's a really good event. It's going to be kicking off tomorrow at 10 o'clock. The link is there as well. It'd be great to see you. So it's free to attend. So we'd love to see you there. I think we're kind of slowing down now. I can see lots of great names on there. So give it 10 more seconds. I'll give it 10 more seconds and we'll kick on with the quiz. And I'm really looking forward. It's Andy, what did you say you had 7 out of 10?
I got 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Luann, did you do it?
I did do it, and I can't remember what I got. But can I just say this is not just about how many you get right; it's how quickly you answer them as well. So there is, you've got to be quick. So there will be time if you want to Google it, but this is fastest finger is going to win this out of, if we have tiebreakers on the correct number of answers. So you've got to be quick as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good
Absolutely.
point. There'll be a live score leaderboard after every question. So
absolutely. So the best of luck to everyone. And if you win the first and second prize, Andy will get me put us in touch, and we'll sort out the membership and the complimentary awards entry. If you win the third prize, the Amazon voucher, which is what I prefer, to be honest, then get in touch with Andy. And there's a few things I want off Amazon. So Andy. Yeah, Luann's book. Why not? We can just go full circle. Andy, have you got anything you want to promote?
No, all good. No, nothing to promote. Let's crack on with it. Well, we've got nearly 100 people on it, so this will be a fun one. So
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Question number 1. This is an old school one. How many top friends could you have on MySpace? 6, 8, or 12? Do you know MySpace was a bit before my time? I'd never even went on MySpace.
I was going to say, this is going to show people's ages, isn't it, this question?
I wouldn't have a clue about this one. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. And
it's split.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh, do you know what? I forgot that I got the correct answers here. I thought it was going to come up on the thing. So it's split on 6, 8, and 12, and the correct answer. Oh yeah, did you do that, Andy?
I did.
I wasn't sure if you can see everyone. We've streamlined this process. So Alice is in Alice and Lily are joint first place at the moment. Charlotte changed last minute. Sorry, no points for coming in second place on that one. And question number 2. What was the preset phrase at the start of every original Facebook status? Is it Rob is or Rob feels? Well, it's going to be a close one again, I think. Oh, 63% is, and the correct answer is. Correct answer is. Alice still number 1. Still, she's top now. It's going well. The next question: in which year was Instagram acquired by Facebook? Should all get this one. It's just that it's always hard when they're so close together. We've got 2011, 2012, or 2013.
Tricky one.
Will Alice still be on top of the leaderboard at the end of this one? Oh, so 59% of you got that wrong. It is 2012. So they could have had a few people knocked off the top spots here. Well, Alice has gone off the top spot. We've got Sarah Williamson, Alice now into second. Bridget third, but just behind by 1 second. It's getting tense. By the way, by the way, it's 150 questions, so be prepared. The egg is the most popular Instagram post of all time, but how many likes did it get as of June 2021? Did it get 55 million, 48 million, or 38 million? Is there anyone who's going to come up the leaderboard now with this one? We have got... so it looks like most of you were wrong. It is actually...
Still there, Rob?
Yeah. You put a different one on my on the doc you sent over. Tried to throw me off. I was like, yes. So I don't. So basically, don't trust me of what it's saying. Yeah. So Sarah has taken quite a big lead there by 7 seconds. So that's great to see. Fiona's coming up. Becky, Louise, Judd is then in 5th place. It's getting tight. The next one, I mean, who knows what the answer could be? What is the name of the blue bird in Twitter's logo? Is it Barry, Larry, or Gary?
Andy's response to this was, did he have a name?
He did.
I had no idea about this one.
So let's see who's got what. So we've got 18% for Barry, 77%. So it is Larry is correct. So there's 77% of you've got that correct. Let's see who's Sarah. So the lead's gone up to 10 seconds now. This is Sarah's to lose. This is like England in the Euros. It's yours to lose, Sarah.
Halfway through.
Yep, the halfway point. Who broke Instagram when she opened her account in 2019 by sharing a picture of her friends? Is it Courtney Cox, Jennifer Aniston, or Kylie Jenner? I mean, I'm expecting big things on this one. I'm expecting big things on this one. Wow, so 63% Jennifer Aniston. Yes, that's Jennifer Aniston is correct. And what's that done to the leaderboard? So Sarah's 8 seconds now, if my maths is correct. So it's getting close. We've got 3 more questions to go. Becky H has just come into the top 5 as well. It is tense, Ella. You're very right. It is so tense. Who tweeted Cowabunga dudettes? I'm so pumped to be on this surfing kick. Who else surfs out there? Gnarly day in the H2O. Ryder, is this one of mine? You've got Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, or Kim Kardashian. Oh, could be one of mine. Often calling Cowabunga dudettes is my thing. So yeah, only 17% of you got that correct. It was Kim Kardashian who said that. So what's that? I think this will throw the leaderboard out a little bit.
No.
Oh, Sarah, too good.
Is that 1 minute 25? I don't understand what that's done to Sage in the bot. Oh, so she's got everything right, but her time's not very good.
Yeah.
So I said, good, well done on getting them all right so far, though. Andy, you could lose your top spot here if you've got 7 out of 10. Anyone get Sarah, Sage?
I think I'm about to.
Eddie's just going to the top 5 as well.
Oh, sorry.
Who tweeted, does anyone think global warming is a good thing? I love Lady Gaga. I think she's a really interesting artist. Is that Charlie Sheen, Donald Trump, or Britney Spears? It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it?
Just a bit.
I used to tweet some garbage out, but I mean that's up there. Wow. So if Andy's thing is correct, Britney Spears with 14%. Ella, it's got to be Trump. Does that mean you've got one wrong now?
Yes.
Sage is in the lead, 8 out of 8. So Sarah's dropped down for the top spot, and Louise has just come into the top 5 as well. It is getting tense. Well done, Sage. We've got question number 9. Who tweeted, "Thank you for everything. My last ask is the same as my first. I'm asking you to believe not in my ability to create change, but in yours." Nice little full stop and a question mark there as well, for those who noticed. Barack Obama, the Pope, or David Attenborough? Wow, 73% of you got it correct. It was Barack Obama. So what's that done to the leaderboard? Sage, 9 out of 9. I mean, have you done this before? Is this like a refreshed quiz?
No.
I tell you what, this is like when everyone was doing quizzes at the start of Zoom. When you go onto a Zoom quiz, you'd be like, oh God, these are all the ones we've had 45 times in the last 3 weeks. Sage, you're doing well. Sarah's still in the lead. Louise, Alice, Eddie, all of in the top 5. What's going to happen on this last question?
Right. So this is a test. Who was listening?
How many monthly active users does Facebook have? 1.85 billion, 2.85 billion, or 2.55 billion? So who was taking notes? Who was even listening? It's going to be close. Can Sage? I actually made notes, Ashley. So you've got to get this right, then, Ashley. If you made notes on this, so 5% said 1.85, 2.85 billion says 61%, and it actually is 2.85 billion. So 61% of you got that correct. Well done to all the SWATs in the room. Wow. Sage, 10 out of 10. Well done though to Sarah Williamson, Eddie, Louise, and Lily, who all came into the top 5 as well. The hardest question apparently was the global warming is a good thing. I love Lady Gaga. I think she's amazing. So that was the hardest question. But yeah, awesome. Well done, Sage. Well done to all of the top 5. That was really fun. Really enjoyed that.
Very, very impressed. So what I could ask is that Sage, Sarah, Eddie, can you pop in your email addresses? Or I'm going to send, rather you put it in a public forum, your email addresses.
Do you want to put your mobile numbers down, your address?
I'm going to go ahead and put my personal email address in, and then Sage, which I'm Sage, Sarah, and Eddie, drop me an email on this, and then I will coordinate those prizes for you today. But
Kerry has said more quizzes with Rob, please. So I'm just saying I am available for kids' birthdays. It's my doorbell going.
That's how in demand you are. Someone's come to your house to tell you how good it is.
That's my pizza oven arriving.
Oh, is it?
Looking forward. Yeah, really enjoyed that, guys. Really enjoyed that. It was a great session. Some great things on there.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for doing it. And if by the sounds of it, lots of people enjoyed it too, and we had a lot of people stay on to the end, and a load of people take part in the quiz. So thank you for making that a really fun session. And if you want to do more of these, then we absolutely can. So whether Rob will be invited back remains to be seen. But
it's my fee that puts a lot of people off. It's my fee.
Prizes, so we do need him back for the prizes.
Say again? Sorry,
we need him back for the prizes.
That is a good.
Yeah, Rob gave us the prizes.
He brings the prizes.
We've got a date set for next month already. So quiz planned for next month. Someone did say let's wait till Christmas, so we'll wait and see. But we have got next month's date already, which I think is the 29th.
29th. Yeah, so I'm just going to pop in the link for next month. If anyone wants to book in for next month, and if we want to do a quiz like that again, we absolutely can. If everyone wants, is everyone up for it? Then that is cool. I'm going to pop in the link in the chat for next month. So yeah, go ahead, click on that, and I will see. We will see you next month. But otherwise, thank you for making this such a fun session. Happy Social Media Day. Hopefully this has been as a few people have said, a good excuse to get away from work and, relive the virtual quizzes, because we obviously all miss them so much. So have a lovely day, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.